Run it, nigga. Give me everything, nigga. Get out. Get out. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car, nigga. Get in the car, nigga. Chill. Where your man at? Where your man at? Pull it back. Give me your money. Where your money at? Get in the car. 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 You gonna shoot you? No, you can get in the car. Get in the car. Shot. Open the door. Open the door. I'll give you everything. Get in the car. Get in the car. That's what I'm doing. Get the fuck in here. Everybody in here. Everybody in here. Why are you doing all that, man? I want to talk to you. About what? About what? About what? Why you yelling at me? What you need, straight, man? Give me the phone. I'll try to call you, bro. I'll pick up anything. So why ain't got your number? Because I asked for your number. They told me to change your number. I'll pick up anything I love, bro. I'll pick up my daughter's life, bro. Bugging though, son. You know I'm getting bugging, son. I've always been right by you. Yeah, but why you do me like that, bro? I'm always put money in your pocket, bro. I'm just scared, bro. I don't know if you feel like you're extortionist. Where the fuck is everything, man? Get in the car with us, man. Bye, nigga. Give me the phone. Get out of here. You gonna talk to him. You gonna talk to him. You gonna talk to him. Get in the car. Right. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. Right. I have to make sure everything good, man. We gonna talk to him. That's it, man. Okay, man.
All right, peace, everybody. Right now, we're at a specific landmark hip-hop location. This is the first of the new series to TTM Academy. All my students, peace, everybody. This is hip-hop coordinates, hip-hop geolocations. All right, so we're going to be, focusing on specific locations. So this location right now is where Tekashi 6ix9ine was kidnapped. And kidnapping is a very, very serious thing in the hip-hop community. And I just had two cousins die from gang violence. Both of them got shot in the back of the head, and both of them were young men. And all this violence really has to end. So I'm going to start doing covering actual locations of actual places. So this is the actual location where Tekashi 6ix9ine was kidnapped. So I'm going to flip around. This is what it looks like. This is where the cab stopped. So the cab did a U-turn around here, and then it pulled around, and then it eventually stopped right here. And in the video, you can see right by this door. So this is what it looks like during the daytime. So this is a shelter for wayward men right here. Right here, it's a giant castle, a giant armory. They say they're going to turn it into like courts or like tennis courts or something, I heard, but who knows if that's happening. But this is where he was kidnapped. So yeah, kidnapping is a very serious thing that you hear all the time in rap videos and rap music. And it's really messed up, and it's not a game, and I totally missed the whole Jeezy thing and Gucci Man thing last night. I don't having two cousins that were killed. Let me flip around. Having two cousins that were murdered, by rap listeners, by gangster rap fans, one being a Blood, I'm not watching all that violent stuff. I didn't listen to any of their albums. I don't listen to that. I'm waiting for the Dell versus, Cool Keith battle or something like that. But, the negativity, and kidnapping and hip-hop is a normal thing now, and all that type of stuff has to stop, with King Von being murdered, and him even popping off at the varsity and all that type of stuff earlier, it makes me feel unsafe, because it's like sometimes I frequent that area over by the varsity, and when that happened, when they, shot all those shots over by the varsity, that made me scared. I just had a cousin that just got popped in the back of the head, and all this stuff really does make me scared, and it really affects my life. So I'm going to start doing a series of journals, for, future court proceedings and things like that against radio stations and you know, a couple of parties or whatnot, you know, to really ascertain the damage that, you know, it was being done to the community, and you know, how people have to actually live in fear. You know, musicians shouldn't have to live in fear. You know, as a musician, I shouldn't have to be like, wow, if I get too much you know, notoriety or fame, you know, somebody could try to, you know, kidnap me or take me out or something like that. And having that happen to, you know, having 2 cousins that just got killed in the past 2 years, you know, by hip hop listeners, you know, gangster rap fans, you know, it's very disconcerting as an artist to think about not wanting to have too much recognition, or not wanting to, you know, having to have the right security or different things like that. You know, it shouldn't, that shouldn't be a factor. You know, it's like all these other, you know, there's pro baseball players rolling around with no security, whereas even small time rappers still have to roll with security. And you know, we shouldn't have to. That shouldn't be a prerequisite to you know, music and art having to roll with mad security. So you know, so we're gonna look at this location again. This is the location of Tekashi 6ix9ine's kidnapping. He was kidnapped right here. This is where Tekashi 6ix9ine was kidnapped. All right. And as you can see, this is the neighborhood during the daytime. And we'll flip to the video of it at nighttime. But, you know, people talk about, you know, ways that as a community we can rise up. Well, you know, we know that Google is always constantly taking pictures of people's, you know, residences and streets and blocks, and, you know, breaking everything down. As far as the hip hop community, you know, if we can pinpoint all these locations and, you know, really talk about, you know, the crime and how it's affecting people in the radio stations, you know, and, you know, really get to the science and mathematics of it, even cartography. The cartography of, you know, how the music is triangulated around the tri-state and leads to violence. So the cab driver that, you know, was accosted by the blood gang members that kidnapped Tekashi 6ix9ine right here, right at this location, right by this door, right by this armory. This is Bedford and Atlantic. So this is Bedford and Atlantic. That's the location. And so the taxi driver was actually working with the feds, and, you know, Tekashi was kidnapped, and, you know, that's a horrible thing, you know. The cab driver didn't even try to save him, you know. The cab driver could have tried to stop it and drive off, you know, maybe, you know. But, you know, he had to save his life, obviously. He didn't want to get hurt. They made him get out of the car. So this is where they made the cab driver get out of the car, and this is where they took Tekashi 6ix9ine and they kidnapped him and they took him somewhere else. And the cab driver ended up driving that way towards, you know, further into Bed-Stuy. But yeah, so this is a, you know, a hip hop geolocation, hip hop coordinate, right? This is number 2 in the series. First we did Bronxdale, the birthplace of hip hop. You know, now we're getting into the, you know, pop, you know, I call it pop soap drop, you know, rap, non-reflective gangster rap. So back to gangster rap, you know, there's 2 types. There's reflective, and then there's, you know, like Jay-Z types, where they're talking about things they did in the past and, you know, ways of, you know, stopping that and, you know, doing business ventures in the future. But the thing is that, you know, the other type of gangster rap, the soap drop gangster rap, is basically, you know, promoting kids, you know, getting locked up and smoking their homies. And, you know, like YNW Melly, you know, like academics, all these people, they got blood on their hands. And I'm going to do a lecture on that, too. But, you know, a lot of these people have blood on their hands, you know, promoting, you know, we know YNW Melly's a serial killer, you know, and they're actually still promoting it. Russell Simmons still promoting it. You know, it's sick. You know, it's really, really sick. You know, Gucci Mane and Jeezy literally putting hits on each other, and people acting like it's a game. Like, oh, yeah, they're friends now. It's like, what? That's crazy. It's like, what? That's supposed to be, like, normal? That's some normal stuff? That's like some weirdo psychopath, like, mentally ill people. You know, they got flows. They make hot stuff. You know, I'm not, you know, people can be talented, but that's, you know, all this gangster rap, soap drop stuff is really, really, is too much. So that's why I came here to this location as a victim of kidnapping, you know, to go to the Tekashi 6ix9ine location of his kidnapping. So we're right here. I'm going to flip around again. So we're right here at Bedford and Atlantic. This is the location where Tekashi 6ix9ine was kidnapped. And I'm going to attach this to the actual video of him being kidnapped. Right? It's the actual this is the actual location. I'm going to do like a pan. So I'm going to pan slowly. So we're doing a slow pan at the location of Tekashi 6ix9ine's kidnapping. This is where he was kidnapped. Right here. Right at this very location. This is where the cab driver parked. The cab driver was right here. He had done a U-turn around here. He was on Bedford and he made a left on Bedford and then went down Bedford and did a U-turn all the way here. He came all the way back here and he pulled up right here and you know, on Atlantic, and this is where some blood gang members, you know, kidnapped him. I'm not sure how many people, if it was one or more, but they made the cab driver get out and they kidnapped him right here. So back to what I was saying before, you know, I had some relatives, you know, I had 2 cousins die recently. I had 2 cousins get shot in the back of the head due to gang violence, you know, and, you know, one was actually a blood member. So when I hear Nicki Minaj and I hear, you know, being a blood and all these, you know, pop celebrities, you know, being bloods, you know, it's like, oh, she's got a new baby with a blood. It's really scary that, you know, the mafia runs the radio. So, you know, as a hip hop community, we really got to come together and stop the mafia from running the radio, you know, and getting, you know, anti-mafia laws on the radio. Because right now the FCC bans curse words, but they don't ban mafia, you know, mafia monopolies. They're not banning it, you know. They're only banning, you know, certain curse words, and the kids are hearing it anyway. But, you know, the debauchery is another matter, getting rid of the debauchery on the radios. But, you know, it's too much. We shouldn't have to deal with that, you know. And as an artist, you know, myself as a musician, I shouldn't have to, as a black male musician, I shouldn't have to worry about, you know, having the right security and all that type of stuff. You know, it's madness, you know. And all these people killing each other and all that type of stuff, you know, it's got to stop. But we really need to make the radio stations, you know, stop letting the gangs on there. So, you know, there are laws, you know, we can go to our, you know, Congress people and Senate people, you know, there's people like Paperboy Prince, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are making a change. And we really got to, you know, you know, push these politicians and ourselves. We can actually, you know, do our own lawsuits, you know, to make things change, you know, because, you know, the gangsterism should be illegal on the radio for, you know, push that targeted at black kids. Because it's a monopoly. It's an industrial complex, the gangster rap industrial complex, you know. And, you know, it used to be the soap drop realm of gangster rap wasn't the dominant form, but now it is, you know. Before it was like, you know, oh yeah, you got all these reflective cats, you know, UGK, you know, cats who were always on some kind of reflective, like I'm a, you know, whatever, it's, you know, gangster rap as a, you know, as a genre, you know. It's like, obviously it should be a genre, but it's more than a genre, you know. I just, like I was saying, I had 2 cousins killed. You know, I've been targeted. I've had people threaten me. I had Frog dances with white girls, that artist. I had him threaten me and my mom's life. You know, we shouldn't have to deal with stuff like that, you know. But yeah, peace everybody. This is one more time I'm going to show the location of Tekashi 6ix9ine's kidnapping. He was kidnapped right here.
Hello. You have reached. Shit. I need everything, nigga. Get out. Get out. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car, nigga. Get in the car, nigga. Wait. Chill. Where you man at? Where you at? Pull it back. Where your money at? Where your money at? Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. You gonna shoot you. No, you can get in the car. Get in the car. Shop. Open the door. Open it. I'll give you everything. Get in the car. Get in the car. That's what I'm doing. Get the fuck in here. Everybody in it. Everybody in here. Why are you doing all that, man? I want to talk to you. About what? About what? Why you holler at me? What you need, straight man? Give me the phone. I'll try to call you, bro. So why ain't got your number? Because I asked for your number. They changed your number. I put it on my daughter's life, bro. Bugging though, son. You know I'm getting bugging, son. I always get right by you. Yeah, but why you do me like that, bro? I told you the money in your pocket, bro. I'm just scared, bro. I don't know what things like your extortion. Where the fuck is everything, man? Get in the car with us, man. Bye, nigga. What's the phone? Give me the phone. Get out of here. You gonna talk to him. You gonna talk to him. You gonna talk to him. Get in the car. Right. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. Right. I have to make sure everything's good, man. We just gonna talk to him. That's it, man. Okay, man.
El sistema OnStar no está activado. Para activar su servicio, presione el botón azul de OnStar ahora o llame al 1-888-4 OnStar. Conectando con OnStar. Esta llamada puede ser registrada para control de calidad. Su llamada OnStar ha terminado. Adiós. Conectando con OnStar. Esta llamada puede ser registrada para control de calidad.